Hello, it's Josh here. The aim of this video is for me to talk through Geegeez Gold and to expand on some of the points in the article above. Specifically, I'll be focusing on the pace analysis, but I'll try and give a kind of quick tour of the Geegeez Gold package and kind of explain how it's changed my punting and my betting. It's all about it's all about easy to access information at the click of a button, all in one place. Which I think you can't really get anywhere else, certainly for the value price for us recreational punters. It is a great tool and piece of kit to help you find value winners. So I'll quickly, recording this on the morning of the 9th of February, before the deadline for this article, which is tomorrow, which is the 10th. So I will just have a kind of quick flick through to show you around really. Now I prefer betting in handicaps, I don't really focus on non-handicaps. So the first race which caught my eye, the 210 in Catterick, and I've actually got a bet in this race, and we'll see how he runs later on, is Brave Spartacus. Now we'll have a look here, and this is all about the pace angle really. As we can see, there is quite a bit of competition, but the idea with this pace report is at the click of a button you can have a look at the last 4 runs of every horse, and they're all kind of given points. So if the horse led its field in its last race, it gets a score of 4, as you can see there with Brave Spartacus. If they're prominent pushing the pace close up, they get a 3. A 2's kind of in touch but kind of just a bit off the leaders, and a 1 usually indicates a kind of hold-up horse or hold-up performance. And simply this bit of kit adds up all of those scores, and you can sort it however you want. I tend to just click the score button to give the highest score at the top, which would indicate prominent runners. The 2 that focus on here, I mean, there is quite a bit of pace in this race, and it'll be interesting to see how fast they go. But Brave Spartacus, when he's on song, is an out-and-out front runner really, and he has done in his last 2 runs. Most of his wins have come from leading from the front, and he is back over hurdles today. Nautical Twilight tends to race up there and close up, but isn't an out-and-out front runner. And the other danger really is Benzano for the McCain team. Close up led first, and he kind of his second to last run, and his previous ones he has tried to lead and has led for most of the way and some of the way. So that just helps you visualise a race at a click of a button. We can see that Proud Gamble's likely to be held up, Narcissist, Bob Legend, Heartsider might be held up for a late rattle, which if they go too quick he might have a chance of getting close, given that, well, without looking at his form, he's 4-1, which would suggest the market fancies him. So that's that really. Click of a button, you can visualise a race. There's this thing called the Instant Expert tab, which is just superb for a quick look. You can change all the race conditions, as you can see along the top. You can alter the going if there's a rain shower or downpour on the actual day. You can change the going to whatever it may be, soft, heavy, you name it. The official going here is good to soft. We're racing in class 4. You've got the distance, the field size, which you can change obviously if there are non-runners, and you can click here to the left hand side the kind of profile, winning profile of win and their place form. So looking across, we can see those that have won on good to soft, which obviously that will straddle horses who have kind of good form on good and form on soft, so you may want to dig into that a bit further. Those that have won in the class, so Benzano for McCain's ran 6 times in class 4, is yet to win. Form at the course, form at the distance. There are only 3 winners here that have proven over 2 miles, which are Brave Spartacus, Heartside and Benzano. Given that I do like distance form on the whole, that's something I'd be keen to focus on with those 3. Then you've got class 4 form. This obviously you can't see if they've got form at a better, higher class I should say, so you can change to have a look at form over class 3 and class 4, and there you go, Benzano has actually won at class 3. But there's from Bob's Legend down, Narcissist, Ballyvoke, Proud Gamble and Mad for Road, you can see none of those have ever won in class 3 or class 4, and none of them have ever won at the distance, as you can see by their odds in the market actually. They're quite not well fancied, although Ballyvoke and Mad for Road just on this quick viewing, they're not two that I'd want to take those prices about in particular. Brave Spartacus is pretty decent, as you can see. They're inconsistent, very good course record. And the other thing, you can have a look at the race card. So like I said, I go through the pace a lot, but you've got all these little tabs here: recent form, jockey form, trainer form. So at the click of a button I can drop down and you can have a look at all the trainer form over the last 14 days, the last 30 days, the course form in the last year and since 2009. So you can quickly have a look to see if there's any connections that you may not want to focus on, who have an appalling record at the course, for example, or their actual recent form. Mr. Charlton there with Ballyvogue, we can see there since 2009 he's had 36 runners and he's yet to have a winner, and only 5% of them have placed. That might be something that puts you off. The same with Proud Gamble. Mrs. Dobbin, 31 runners since 2009, no winners. So this is the kind of thing you can get information at the click of a button. You can also see their head-to-head record, so you can click that to see who's beaten who, etc, etc. There's also information on each horse's breeding. You get the Racing Post comment, I believe that's from their database, including in terms of their spotlight write-ups. You can have a look at that. And you get these little figures here which give an indication of trainers that are in form at the course and in general, and the same with jockeys. There are also some speed ratings as well, but I won't focus on those too much. There's something called the full form filter, so you can click on every horse. I'm just trying to rush through this really. You can click on every horse. You can have a look at the horse's performance in today's conditions. You can have a look at their form in the going, and you can have a look down, etc, etc, at the course, and all in all, you know, get a really good take on the horse you may fancy in their chance. Now, the pace angle is the way in for this race. I fancy Brave Spartacus. I think he's going to lead. It may not be an easy lead, but I think he'll be up there, which is the place he needs to be. I am concerned about his form over hurdles. He is a better chaser, but that win at Sedgefield, he's off a much lower mark. He's won chases from much higher marks than this. He ran well over a Class 5 handicap hurdle at Sedgefield, then he had a little break, came back over a distance that I think was too far at Musselburgh, and ran well. You know, he was 5-1 when I looked last night, and I had a point on him just because I thought he might run well, and we'll see what the result is later. But that's just an example of looking at the pace analysis. The 440, that's a novices limited handicap chase, but again, you know, the higher the collection of numbers, the more pace there is in the race really. Ivan Brew looks like he likes an easy lead, but he may not get it with Syrian Star, and the Donald McCain horse there also likes to push the pace. So there's a Lucinda Russell horse based on his run last time out, so that may be the case of focusing on a horse that may track the pace as an example, because they may go too hard up front and set it up for a closer. The 310 is interesting from a pace perspective. It looks like the Michael Appleby trained Douala under the champ AP McCoy will get a fairly easy lead here. Most Honourable led last time but was headed quite soon and normally is held up. Harvey's Hope for the Reevely team again. He has ran a couple of clonkers since returning after a very long absence. It's not quite sure what ability remains with him really, but he will be up there. But Douala won in the class last time out, won well. It's a 7-4 favourite. It's not necessarily a price I would take, but it'll be interesting to watch this race. If we click on the Instant Expert tab to get a quick view of the form, we can see there Douala, I think her win at last time was on good ground. So if you kind of went through from good to soft to get an idea of those horses that may handle conditions, you know, there's lots of red on the going there, so not too many horses have handled that range. But if we look at the distance, there aren't many distance winners over here. It is 2 mile 3 furlongs, but we're looking at between 2 mile 2 and 2 mile 4. Bog size 1 from 11, Douala and Harvey's Hope a one there. You can see the handicap rating to the right. I should focus on quickly. A positive number indicates they're below their last mark, so their last winning official rating. You can see there Harvey's Hope was 117. He runs off 109 here, as you can see to the right. So you can see horses at a glance that are well handicapped or not. In the case of Douala, I think he's an improving horse. So we've got the form there. That's an interesting one. I'd be tempted to side with the favourite, but I wouldn't say 7-4 is necessarily a price that I would want to focus on. The trainer's got a good record at the track, probably mainly on the flat. McCoy's got a very good record here if we click on him. His course form since 2009, he has a 42% strike rate, 60% of all runners have finished placed. So you know, doesn't normally come up to Catterick to mess around really, so that'll be interesting. So that gives you an idea of the different tools that you get for each race card. If we look at the 340 at Catterick, this looks like it's going to be a good race, and St Eyre's been well backed. Again, it looks to be lots of pace here. Lots of these track the pace or like to get on with it, so this could be quite frenetic, and it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top there. On the whole, I personally like to focus on horses that I'm confident are going to get a fairly easy lead off at the front, or maybe only be taken on by one other horse, say. This race looks to have quite a lot of pace. If Shadrach's good enough to stay out, it is kind of a class 3 animal, whereas Saint Dare and others have got form at a higher level. If he's able to stay out the front, that might be interesting at a big price, but he could well be outclassed by something. So that's the race cards. There's a lot more information there for you to explore, and I don't want this video to go on too long. There's also many reports that you can get here. The shortlist focused on those that are the kind of best from the Instant Expert tab, and the other one I like is the trainer jockey combo, which I'll just look at really quickly once it's loaded. So the great thing about this report is you can look at the trainer jockey combo stats for just in general for like the last 14 days, 30 days. I like looking at course form since 2009 and focusing on those partnerships. Now you can put your own settings here so that the report will organise itself, so you can if you just want to look at wins, win percentage, profit loss, whatever. I like clicking on the win percentage here and it orders it. We can see there Miss Smith, Sue Smith and Danny Cook at Catterick are 3 from 3 since 2009. You can click on them and see which horse they're running today. Miss Susie Smith and Mikey Nolan at Plumpton are 3 from 3. They're running Loughton Park in the 320. So that'll be interesting to see how he gets on. So that's just an idea at the click of a button. Again, it's more information and things that are interesting, and you may like backing your trainers and jockeys. I certainly do. I've had quite a bit of success. David Lanigan, George Baker catch the eye there, 4 from 9, 6th place, teaming up at Wolverhampton. We've got Leonard Thomas there at 10 to 3 in the 330. So they're the different reports. They really are there for you to explore. The last thing I want to just focus on, there's a full results service, both today's results, and it is quicker than the Sporting Life fast results actually, and also you can look at full results from over time. And you'll notice in the article I talked about a few horses from Friday the 6th and Saturday the 7th of February. I just want to have a look at those. Where are we? Ballyhaig Bay at Kempton. If I get the full result up for this race, you will see that this is one I didn't back. I was nearly very tempted to, and I wrote on my blog, and I hummed and hawed, and in the end went for Umberto de Lavarte, who came a kind of poor third really. But the pace analysis on the day was what interested me. And again, click the button. The last run data needs to be updated, so this will actually focus on the run from Kempton, this last run. But the time he was top on the cumulative score added up. He'd chased leaders last time at Newby and tried to get to the front. The 2 runs before that he'd made virtually all, and there wasn't another out and out consistent front runner in the field. Open Hearted and Umberto had led on a couple of theirs, but had also been held up and tracked the pace. So I thought Ballyhaig Bay. The other one was American Spin, who when he's on song likes to make the pace, but had been badly out of form. So I thought Ballyhaig Bay would be up there and would get the opportunity to lead. As it happened, Tom Cannon, I think, was right up there, and after a few fences did get the lead, dictated his own pace, kicked turning for home, and that was game over really. Shani Syke was another there. Barton Gift was also a prominent racer in that field and actually led for most of the way. The other one I did back was Present Lodger. I got 5-2, which in the context of this race I thought was decent odds actually, because the rest of the field were quite poor. But again, you can see why I fancied Present Lodger, or the way in I should say, from a pace angle. So there was quite a few that pressed the pace, but not many out and out front runners. Present Lodger's change of tactics last time, which I thought they would continue with, when he made virtually all and just stayed out there. Samson Collonge tries to make the running and a bit on and off, but we can see there with leader halfway, lost place. He wasn't in great form, and I didn't think he was going to be able to push up with the pace for too long. And Decent Lord was another pace angle. Led jumped slowly, headed first, but normally again pulled up, and there was question marks over the form. I thought maybe up there, but Present Lodger would be able to see him off. Again, you've got the Instant Expert tab, two kind of horses. Decent Lord also no form over the distance. Again, lots of red there, which is bad. Green is very good, amber's not so bad. Dingo Bay was okay, but he was an exposed handicapper and £8 above his highest winning mark, and Present Lodger was an improver. And for me, the pace angle was the way in. Once I'd gone through every runner, and the form of the stable and connections, I thought that 5-2 was okay. One final thing before I bring this video to an end was looking at Saturday the 7th, and just to have a quick focus on the Denman Chase, which, and as you will see, Coney Gray, where is he? I'll just find a Denman Chase. There we go, 225. Quite an elite field, but from a pace angle, there was only ever going to be one runner who was going to lead. And the great thing from this is, like I said, it's all about saving time. It's about being able to find information at the click of a button that no one else has available, and unless you go through manually in the racing post or pay a lot of money for other services, I think getting pace maps and being able to visualize it isn't something that's accessible to most punters who are pushed for time and are not full-time racing enthusiasts. So as you can see there, the pace setup, it was clear that Coney Gray was going to get a fairly uncontested lead, which is, as it transpired, he did, and Richard Johnson got his fractions right and jumped them and galloped them into submission, and he was back from 7-2 into 15-8. So that's Geegeez Gold really. As you can see at the top here, there is a forum, so lots of people talk to each other and talk about how they're using the kit and the kind of fancies for the day. There's also a stat of the day, which is one tip a day. It's averaged 100 points a year for the last couple of years, and that also becomes part of the package. So you can sign up for Geegeez Gold, whether you do or not, I don't really mind. I think the purpose of me showing this to you is because it's a great piece of kit. It will help your betting, and it will make you improve as a punter, in my opinion. So you can click the banner below the video and take a 10-day free trial. You've got nothing to lose. You can have a look around yourself. It may not be for everyone. I think some of you may enjoy it, and it will really benefit your ability to find value winners. There are many people using this already. There's so much more to it that I haven't even explored yet, but I'm conscious of time. For me, it's been superb for the pace angle, and this afternoon I'll be going through tomorrow's cards to have a look to see if there are any other front runners or horses which I think are standout. And Geegeez Gold and the race cards and the pace analysis is always my first port of call. As I've touched on in the article, I'm very excited about the flat season coming up. The pace analysis especially is going to be vital for analysing sprint handicaps, especially those on straight courses, and looking where the best place to be drawn will be, etc, etc, who may get an easy lead on a rail, for example. So that's it really, that's the end of this video. I hope you found the article interesting and this video interesting. The aim really is to show you something. I am a real punter, I bet with my own money, and I'm a member of Geegeez Gold. It has helped me immensely in becoming more profitable, and I think it will help you too. But as I said, take a 10-day free trial and you can see for yourself. Thanks for reading, and thanks for your time, and enjoy the rest of your day.